And let me, before I say I'm ready, let me make sure I got my.
Hi. Hey, everyone. We're 1 minute early. I hope that's okay. I'm super excited about this. I'm really excited about this project, and I think you will be too. Hello to Maya, who was here first today. Hi,
Wait.
Rhonda. You made it. And Rhonda, the reason why I even sent out invites was because it started with you. Because I knew that you were kicking yourself for missing one day and needed a reminder. So thank you for reminding me to remind others. I appreciate that. Hi, Sarah. Oh, hey, Miriam. How are you? I was afraid
So
you were
glad to see
streaming at the
everybody
same
coming in.
time. But then I remembered you have such a time difference, and that's why I can't ever make it because, sleep. I don't get enough of that, but when I can, I do. Okay. Are you ready? Let's get the welcome out of the way. If you're watching on replay, you have no idea how grateful I am to have you here. And if you're live, the same goes. And we do have Lisa with us today reading chat and playing along. So say hi to her. And if you are on replay, please give a thumbs up and leave a comment. It's so nice to have feedback and know who's watching and if you're having a good time. I like that. Hey, Darcy, you made it. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize Yolande was streaming at the same time. And I sent her a message actually on her video. I left a message because I saw it when I opened Facebook up and I felt so bad. Felt terrible. So, yeah. Will you tell her hello for me? And I will watch the replay. And if you are not a subscriber to her channel, it's Devon Rex. Is that the whole name of the channel? I can't remember right now.
DEVONREX for the number 4 art.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I knew I was missing something. Yeah, that's great. So we're going to do something super fun today. And I want to kind of tell you what that's all about and where it started. And we're going to do some works of art today. And I've been hoarding this and it kind of hangs on my desk. And I don't remember where it came from, like out of a book or something. And it has always like been taped to a shelf. And it keeps falling down and reminding me what I need to do and do something with it. But we're going to play with some texture today. And we're going to make a mess. We're going to get messy. I have a lot of examples here for you. But the very first thing I actually need to do before I forget, guess what? I got my stamps. Are you ready to see them? So mine are
we have to do those first. Go to the screen.
Teeny tiny bit bigger.
Thank
Because
you, Rhonda, for posting that in the chat.
Samples. And oh, yay. Thank you. I appreciate everybody, like popping over to say hi to her as well. That's great. Okay. So you guys saw the tree and I've been using it.
Sharon, go single screen so they can see the full glory there.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too.
Okay. So this one right here, I think she called it Sharon's Curious Carvings. There's a reason why it's this shape. It is this shape because if you go back to back on them, you can create patterns. Plus, you can also fill in spaces and do like a diagonal.
Hi, Eddie.
Hey, Eddie. How are you? I know it seems bizarre, but when you put it all together, you can make mandalas. I actually have a mandala. Wait. This was when I first, from the carved one, because I actually carved this one. And then this is the one they sent me.
Where are all those prints you made with that? Because they're gorgeous.
I
know it's not what you plan to use today, but
trees.
Hi, Marta.
Trees.
Welcome.
I have these little ones.
Yeah.
I have one that I love that says "Respect Your Mother," and because it looks like a planet. Well, here's another one. I haven't done anything with this one yet. Not on my gel plate, at least. I didn't have it at that time. So, but it makes mandalas. It makes a diagonal. It will make, if you flip it back and forth this way, you can line this up on edges and make some borders. It's just because it has this one straight edge. It's really versatile. Sorry about my barking dog. And some people said it looked like an owl or
Really, it was me.
what?
I said it was really me. It was not the dog. It was probably me.
Is it your stomach? So guess what this is right here? This is one of
Margaret,
those.
the voice that you're hearing in the background is Lisa Mingus making it with Minglet.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Hey Marty,
No, it's okay.
how are you?
We
So
want you to get the full screen effect of being able to see the new stamps. These are her new stamps that have been released by P.M.Artist Studio. And remember that you can look in the link below. There is a link. Right, Sharon? There's a link.
There will be a link.
Got a card. We'll go over that to make sure.
Why don't you type it in for them? Would you do that, Lisa?
Discount. There you go.
Yeah, that would be great. Marty, Marty and I go way, way back. And when I saw her name pop up when I was sending Rhonda her invite, I saw Marty and I was like, oh, I have to send one to her. We go back to my old channel. Hey, Uda, I'm so glad you're here. I'm really glad you made it. Okay, so this is actually one of those National Geographic
It does have kind of a skull look to it. It does.
Yeah.
Rhonda, I see it too. I mean, when I look at it, the first time I looked at it on this particular page that she's holding up, it makes me think of the witch in Snow White that's standing with the apples.
Really?
Look at the eyes and the nose, the shape of the face.
So I kind of went
diagonal. Have that skull-like look to it. So I think you could use it for a lot of. It could be taken and used for a variety of different
I kind of see the plague doctor mask when I look at it now. That wasn't intended, but that's kind of what I see. You know, with the long beak, and they used to put incense and herbs in it because they thought it would keep them from getting sick. Yeah, it kind of does have that feel, but it has the different edges on it for that reason. Anyway, enough of that. So I'm going to actually be using this, and we'll be using some of our National Geographics today. I can't wait to tell you about this project. And then lastly, you guys, this is a full set. Mine are a little bit bigger. So they're going to be a 1/2 inch smaller than this. So they're perfect for your ATCs. But this is my near and dear to my heart goddess set that I love so much. And these were masks at first for the gel plate. And I am going to enjoy them even more in a stamp. I'm very excited to use these, and I just got them. I'm very excited. The whole set is, it comes together for and I think they're on sale right now for under $15, I think. Or
you can't beat that. I mean, that is an excellent value. And if you do use your code, if you'll spend up to, is it $30 or $35? I'm thinking $35.
I'm not sure.
You're going to get free shipping. So that's just added value.
So I'm going to put these away for right now, and we're going to bring the goddesses out a different day because they don't go with the project I'm doing today, believe it or not, even with the hearts. And I can't wait to emboss these. These are going to be fun. So I'm putting those away. Be fun. I will leave those out.
It's going to be fun. But we'll have time for that.
What's that?
I said we will have time to play with them.
Yes, we will.
Maybe by the time that we play with them on a live, I will have a set sitting here waiting.
Oh, that would be great.
That would be perfect.
So guess what? We are going to make a texture sampler. And that means what I have in mind is creating these different and I chose a heart shape because it's Valentine's Day.
Hi, Function of Light 1. And welcome to this is our Valentine's special.
It is.
Making hearts, so glad you popped in.
Hey, Function of Light, I can't remember your name. And I am so sorry. I know I've met you in P.M.Artist Studio stream.
I'm thinking that some people in some of the streams, I think she gets called Flo.
Flo.
Am I right or wrong?
You. Thank you. Well, hello, Flo, and thank you for being here. I know it's an unusual stream for us because it's earlier and it's during the week. So I'm really glad you made it. Okay, so last year, you guys know I made these
I,
hearts, and what I did
she
was I
knew they
joined.
did color flow. I remembered.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so last year I made these hearts and I did them with texture. And what I did was I cut out these teardrop shapes and I joined them together like it was two different people coming together. Okay, and then I glued them to cereal boxes or whatever. This was a fruit snack, and then I did some wiring on them. Well, this time, what I want to do is make a continuous garland that can hang on the window in my art room. And if you don't want to make a garland and you don't want it to be hearts, you could do this on any shape you want. Let's say you have even a punch would work, and then it would make your life easier. You just punch them out. You could do circles, you could do whatever. But what we're going to do is make these sampler textures. And it's a great time to experiment and play with different mediums and, kind of squishing things together, mixed media that you wouldn't maybe normally use. Get a little messy or not messy, depending on what you like. So this can be your style. You could use scrapbook paper if you feel like it. You can emboss them. This one is embossing with dry embossing and some ink. And then it had some other little holes in the paper when I backed this. And then I did a little stamping on it. So you can do the front and back, but I'm probably going to say that it's a good idea. Hey, Marguerite. Welcome back. It's a good idea for you if you don't know how you got to that texture by writing on the back. So we're going to make these thick enough so that they're stable. If you want to put them on a ring, you can and make them any shape, but this is Valentine's Day. So what I'm going to do is make a grungy heart garland. You could put buttons in between them or beads or, just do it any way you want. But I'm going to hang it on my window. And then as I come across things and I have some spares here, I always put little pieces. Now, see, I could still use those for something else. That's fine. But I've got these, like when I get a new embossing folder, I roll one out. That's a playing card. Hey, Jasper, welcome. I'm glad you made it. Glad to have you here.
And thank you all as you're coming in for hitting those thumbs up. It really helps us out.
Yes, thank you. Oh, are you leaving, Jasper?
Hi and bye. Peace out.
Well, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
I hope you hit that thumbs up button, Jasper.
So this is actually photo paper. So we're going to back these that have been embossed, but you can also use your embossing powder. You can use your embossing paste. I've got a couple kind of experimental textures for you here coming up. That's, like some ink on there. But I have this little box where I throw these little tiny scraps, right? And they are like metal, the little metal scraps from the coffee can with the alcohol ink from another project. I've got these little pieces. So if there's something really interesting that I have, I throw it in the box and then I can do things with them. So this is a great time to use these to cut out those sort of shapes. And I'm going to make my hearts super grungy because I don't want cutesy hearts. That's not my style. I even have some rust. Rust.
My hearts are just like I have the little children across the street. I always give them some on the holidays, and I had bought a box. And when I looked at the box on the back, it had that nice white that's not too shiny. So my hearts were cut out of the what are the gummies, like gummy bears.
Oh yeah.
That's the box that I cut them out of. So the tops of them actually have like gold on them. And then the bottoms are actually.
I'm going to go double screen so we can see yours. Okay. There you go. Sorry about that.
I'm going to turn to where I'm facing my desk. No, nobody wants to see a part of me today. Trust me. I look like I was hit by. I was hit by a bus sometime between 2:00 yesterday morning and today. A bus ran me over. drug me down the street, and then said, "Huh, now get up and do what you can do with that."
She's kidding, guys.
And I'm still laughing. So we'll take what we can get. But anyway, there's my hearts.
Awesome. So are you going to cover them? Are you going to paint them? Are you going to put texture paste on them? I do recommend, if you're going to do something that's, you know, a lot of texture, or you're going to use a stencil and texture paste, I would recommend, doing them in larger sheets, and then you can cut them out that way, or, you know, using your scraps like that, to do it.
Yeah, I will probably, my scrap bucket is pretty lame at the moment.
Is it?
It is. It is surprisingly lame.
That's pretty awesome, though. I mean, most
That's
of us have too many
unusual, highly
scraps.
unusual. But I do have like this one baby wipe that I did not go ahead and put on my bottle.
Uh-huh.
So I am going to use it to put on one of my big hearts.
Ah,
I'm gonna make a nubby heart.
a nubby heart.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
the
like
other
I love you,
thing
nubby.
is hot
Instead of
glue.
hubby, a nubby,
Nubby.
a
I'm going to
nubby
show
heart.
you what I did here with some hot glue. And these aren't finished yet, but I got them started at least. So I took hot glue. Now I'll continue painting these. They've just been gessoed. And I went around the edges. So what I want to do is end up making this almost look
Hi,
like...
Lexi. Oh, Lexi, I got them. They're
Hey,
here.
Lexi.
Yes. Lexi was so sweet. She sent me some gears out of the watch. She fiddled those things out and sent them to me. And you know, this would be a good place to put them too. Hey, I think I will. I think I will put one on a heart. So all I have to do is put some color on it.
So this is Glossy Accents, and right now they have this for $3 on Amazon. Glossy Accents creates like it kind of floats, and it domes. If you cover something, it kind of stays where it's at. It's almost like, but not quite like puffy paint, but it's clear. So it's like glass. So I'm going to create these different textures and see what I can come up with. And it's all like an experiment. Isn't that great?
It is. And you told me to get some, and I did.
Yes.
So I guess I should grab it now, huh?
Yes. So this is a paper tape measure, these that I have. And I put some staples in it to make the heart. Do you see the staples there? And then I put Glossy Accents over it. So what I'm going to end up doing is gluing this down to another piece. And maybe I'll do black this time and have a little border. This started like this, and then I inked it. So I just, you know, glued that down to some black cardstock. So let's get busy and make some grungy hearts that we can experiment and get our experimental sampler textures. I'm going to choose kind of a color scheme for mine, kind of grungy, but you can do anything you want. You know, you could have big colorful hearts on your garland that hangs on your window, but basically we're making an art garland, and we're going to try to have a different texture, or lots of different textures to choose from. Then when we get stuck on a project and we feel like it's missing something, or we don't know what kind of texture we want to put on it, then we can look at our garland and kind of pick and choose from there like a sampler. This I did put Glossy Accents on, and it does this great thing. It cracks. If you put a thin coat on, this one's too thick, but this one cracks. And if I go over it with some sort of ink, it will go inside those cracks and look like it's just awesome. I don't know what it looks like, but it's awesome.
Rhonda said she didn't like assemblage, and I have never been one to assemble things, but part of that for me is I don't know that I have the skills for it, but I've surprised myself, you know, with following simple instructions this week.
I'm going to do this one first, I think. So I'm just
Some
going
of
to do
you may know I jumped ahead of the class. You know, this is not something that generally happens, but you know, you can't sleep sometimes. Art art is a place to go to let your
Well,
brain, if it's not going to function right, at least let it, you be at peace with itself.
you were excited though, and you got in the zone, and I think that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean,
But you haven't seen the others. I haven't shown the others.
for therapy reasons, that zone is really important. That's where your pineal gland wakes up, and it's the space I go to when I meditate. It's the space I go to when I'm most relaxed. And it's really good for your brain to get in that zone with your art. I don't know if you
Okay,
guys know
let me
that.
read this.
Oh,
Maya
hey,
says you can do
Estella.
many layers of clear nail polish instead of the glossy accent. So you're saying that you can get the same crackle effect? Am I understanding that, Maya?
Has she tried it? Have you tried it, Maya?
Waiting for more feedback, Maya. Hi, Marta.
Will it hold little metal pieces and act like glue? Yes, it does.
Oh,
As long as they're
Estella,
not too
hello.
heavy. People use this for glue all the time. They do. Okay,
We're,
so I'm
we're
going to
glad you stopped by to say hello and excited that you're going to get to watch the replay.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So this was just a paper bag that I had rusted a long time ago and stuck on my texture cart. And it was when I was playing with the sand and paint. So these are all like textures and visual textures that you can return to. And it's all experimental. And if you like it, save it. You can do this with it, or you can use it in something else. But if you have a little piece, it's nice to, have a plan and use it like this. So I'm going to glue that down, and I don't care about that dot. And then I'll cut it out. Paper bag. That's great. I do have some other plans for these as well, a way to zhuzh them up. That should be fun. Zhuzh. That's right.
I got in trouble yesterday. Besides having the headache situation that kind of kicked my tail all over the place all day, I got busted because I had been using my husband's one of his buckets, like his 5-gallon buckets that he had gotten at a car show. Now, granted, he
Uh-oh.
has a lot of them and he uses them, but
Uh-huh.
this particular one is from Napa, and he said, "Wait a minute. You took my blue bucket." And I said, "Yeah, it's great. I carry my art supplies up and down the steps. Things are constantly leaving the craft room, going to the craft room." And he said, "But that's my bucket." I said, "But we won
Oh
it at
my.
our car show." So I've taken the bucket. Surprise,
Oh,
surprise. But I had put the paint colors in there. I had been working on the color combo, and I had put my paints in there, but because I did not have the I just couldn't bend over and get stuff put up. Okay, so I cheated. I took the shortcut and I put the stuff in the bucket.
so I'm just going over this with this. It almost looks like iron. When I have this, and it's something I just started doing. I did on that last photo frame project for the collaboration with Peg and Kylie, which they're up
Yes.
next. So watch for those.
Yes, I've been watching. I haven't seen anything yet,
I
but
haven't
I
seen
am
them yet
watching.
either. I know they're both working on them. So,
Well, you got to get yourself kind of in the lineup
so
for
there we
things like that.
have that. I'm going to turn this light down just a hair. There's a little, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it definitely looks like rust. And I don't care about the little circle on the back. It's kind of cool. So closing that up, and this is just Nouveau Mousse. You don't have to have this. You guys can use anything you want. You can put shoe polish on it or gold leaf or, whatever. It's about the texture and experimenting and creating samples of different kinds. So does that make sense to everybody? It makes sense in my head, it does.
I'm just gonna hit mine up with some acrylic, like terracotta, which is one of the colors, the color combo colors.
Oh yeah.
So
Estella, I said hi earlier, but I don't know if you heard me. I'm so glad you made it. So I'm just punching some holes in here, and I don't necessarily need my hearts to hang straight or even be cut out straight. That's not me. That'll be for either some string. I think this one might be cool, but the colors are probably off, or some wire, or even maybe safety pins. I mean, that would work. Why not? Right?
I played with safety pins yesterday, and
Maybe clips like that would be fun. Paper clips would be great. You know, you're just making a chain, basically. But I also want to do
when you first started talking about this project and you were thinking about the sampler, I even thought about putting it on a ring, like a binder ring.
Yes, you can put
You
it
know,
on a
so that
ring.
you could flip through and have the oh wait, this is how I did this, you know,
Like hanging by your desk or something.
with instructions on the back.
Yeah. I was thinking it might be cool to put some, you could put some safety pins down it, or you could run some wire through it just to make them interesting. It's about the texture, but if you want to continue adding additional things to it, I think that's really fun.
I think when you said something about wire, wrapping wire, I kind of think I might use a light wire and maybe wrap beads around a smaller one
I do
once I
have
get like a
lots of little
rusty texture.
trimmy pieces. This is a great time to use those. The ones that you have that are, you could also dangle little things off the bottom, get as detailed as you want with them. Just, for fun, but also for reference, texture reference. So how many of you are excited to do this project and try new textures for new future projects? That's what I
I'm
want to know.
excited about it.
I am
I,
super
I, I
excited.
really had not gotten into doing any textures until we started the bottle. And
I
when we
think that's
started the
great.
bottle, I guess y'all know that first off, I picked a bottle that was really tall to be working on my little tiny desk. So, once I put one coat on it, I did not have anywhere to put it. I couldn't hold it. I'd already got my fingers stuck in it.
Okay,
The
and I'm going to
trials
stick
and the
that.
tribulation of art on this desk, I swear.
So
It,
I'm just trimming it until I like it.
but I didn't get excited when I put the first layer on or the second. But when I started adding the other layers, I was like, whoa.
That's when it happens too. People that are afraid of that assemblage or the 3D sort of mixed media, um, usually it's where you get to the point where you've added another layer and another layer that it starts coming to life and you love it. You'll get in the zone and find your groove, and it's hard to stop sometimes. I mean, you know it's done when your heart says it's done, but sometimes it is
Right.
hard to stop, I gotta say.
Well, it was funny because, I pick stuff up when I go walk my daughter's dog for
I
her.
want paint.
Sometimes I'll go walk her during the day. And I laugh. I say, does the dog need to walk, Grandma? Not, I don't have grandchildren, so we joke about the fur babies being my little grandbabies, and
Well, they are, aren't
well,
they?
they are, and I spoil them. I mean, yesterday when I went over, I had been cutting up some stuff, and I actually took the lizard, the bearded dragon, got some purple cabbage. She'd never had purple cabbage before. She looked at me out of the corner of her eye. She was grumpy yesterday. They they go through phases. She's a female, and she goes through these phases, and when she is shedding, it's like her life is just so, oh my goodness, look, someone wants to look at me. Woe is me. You can just see it on her face. And that's not the typical behavior when she sees me come in. So she
I don't think I like
she
it.
looks at me like, whatever, you know. I laid it down in her bowl. I held it up to her face, and usually if she's going to eat it, she'll take it from my hand. Um, But no, she didn't do that. She just looked at me like, "Are you crazy? You know, what are you doing here? You know, I'm perfectly fine without you." But I left her treats anyway. But to get back to it, I find things. I found a beehive one day, and I thought, well, what could I do with that? And I actually put it on a bottle. But I was walking in the dog park, and apparently somebody's dog's chain, the collar had broken, and it was like this big, heavy black chain. And I said, well, they didn't take it with them, so obviously they're not going to fix it. So I picked it up and I put it in my little pocket and kept
Hey,
on
Sarah.
going. And I was going to use it on the bottle, but it was just too. I mean, I think it's too heavy for that, but it will get used. It will get used.
Lexi and Sarah, thank you. I was hoping somebody would get what I was trying to do, honestly. I don't like those colors together. This is the whole point. I don't like those colors together. I don't like the way that came out, but you know what? It's not done. I can keep adding until I like it. But it's when you add more than 3 layers, you might want to make a little note on the back so you remember how you got there, because you'll end up loving it and not remember sometimes. Maybe some of this would be good. I just don't like that blue.
I do think that's a good idea. I think that
And Maya,
I think
I
it's
will
a
do
very
that.
good idea to write that stuff down, because
In case
otherwise,
you don't
unless you're
remember,
recording, you don't remember.
So you know what this is? It's a gold. It was a playing card that I had spray painted. I had embossed and spray painted gold, or the other way around. It was spray painted gold first. I don't remember why. I was doing a project and I needed it for something, but it's a plastic playing card. So yeah, I still don't like it. I don't like it. You know what? It's not over yet. It's never over.
I think I'm gonna put some lace on these. I know lace, you're going more for
It's a
grunge, but I
color.
think that lace might be fitting for what I want to do in the end.
About that one.
Lord knows I've got a few pieces of lace around here. Just a few.
Just a few.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I've started using that tablecloth that was my neighbor's. She called me day before yesterday, and she said that her friends, that her grandson helped her send the link to her friends, and that she had been getting calls. So they had tears in their eyes when they watched it, and I was like, whoa, didn't expect that.
Oh, for your videos?
For the
Oh,
one where I did the one about the tablecloth, my friend's tablecloth, and
yeah.
her, just the look on her face the day
Don't hate
she
it.
handed that to me, how the sadness in her eyes, but the hope at the same time. I mean, I knew she always loved me. I mean, I've been like a daughter to her, after her husband died, and her daughter lives
I'm putting it
too far.
aside for right now. It's not dry, and I'm over that one, and I don't like it, and that's going to happen sometimes. It's okay. It's totally fine. It happens.
All right.
So this one, I put texture paste on,
Yeah.
and then I put this netting on it. And I'm going to cut some of the netting off, and I'm going to put a little glue down on the edges. I pressed the netting in when the texture paste was wet. So just testing another texture here. You can do this with, you could use string or, whatever sort of 3D things you have, and just experiment. Use cardboard. That's corrugated cardboard there. I do have some other ones I started here with texture paste and corrugation that need painted. That's just got gesso on it. So it's really about, just playing and experimenting and having fun with them. So the green will probably get covered up. There's a whole lot of texture on that one. You guys can't really see it. I know it's difficult. So I need to tell you about the retreat. I told Anthony I would as well. We have a retreat coming up. We haven't decided on the date for the next one, but the last one was the first week of October, or the second week. It was my birthday. It was my birthday. Yeah. Well, my birthday was Monday and we did it the weekend before. However, we don't know when. It's going to happen at Anthony's, and Maya and I are on the planning committee for this. We had such a good time last year. It was so much fun. And Maya already knows what she's teaching this year. I don't, but she does. She's so good. Sorry,
if we can find an airfare, I will go. I will certainly go.
There's only so many spots. Just so you know, I don't want anybody to feel if you can't, that's fine. We're not expecting anything, more than maybe 12 people. So, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Just keep it in mind, and we will update you when we get more information as well. But that's what Maya's talking about in chat. And it's in the Pacific Northwest. We're in Washington. So I don't want to fill the cracks for the crackle paste I've got on here. So I'm going to skip the biggest parts because that's going to get painted. I might even tear away some of this corrugation. But, good experiment to see if I like it mixed together like that. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to let that dry. Set it to the side. Okay, and next, you guys remember this puff paint? You guys can also, I don't know if any of this is any good because, it's been in a dresser for 2 years. But this would work on this, and you just paint over it, Use it for the texture. You can make rivets. You could make, you could go all steampunk. That one's probably dead right there because it's almost empty. This one is really big, so it's got the best chance. But I was thinking if you have this, break it out, or you can use hot glue in the same way. I would paint over this, though. I probably wouldn't use it in these colors that they are, but it's worth a try. Another way to do it with good texture.
Marguerite says she can see Washington from where she's parked. I tell you, we looked at it seriously last year. Coming from the East Coast, there is just not an economical way to get there. It is. Matter of fact, I can almost fly to Scotland for just a fraction more than what it was going to cost last year. And I don't know, you never know what flights are going to be like, but I didn't exactly have 3 or 4 days to travel, for traveling out there and stopping places to get on the cheap seats either. So, and that was the downside. But I think it's wonderful, and I hope that y'all will do the lives again because that was a lot of fun, watching those things happen.
I think I might set up an actual live class this time. Maybe Maya and I can film each other's, and we'll throw it here on the channel. I think that would be fun.
I think that's smart. I think that's very smart because, like I said, I know that there's quite a few people out our way that would attend if the situation with the travel was different. But we're here and you're there. It's just like it's frustrating sometimes.
Okay, so I want to share this technique. And I've done this, Marty, you might remember that I did this with some junk mail like 4 years ago on my old channel. I actually took this plastic tablecloth, and you can probably do any texture you'd like, as long as it's enough texture to make a pattern and some lines. It won't work on the ones with the orange oil on them or the citrus oil, because it just mushes around the ink because the orange is still on there. So I did try that, and that's how this came to be. Hey, Linda or Belinda, how are you? Welcome. So what I did here is not just sand over this. I'm going to show you. And this is how I have done it in the past. Now, see, I wouldn't use this page. I mean, it's colorful and whatever, but I just wouldn't use this page. So what I'm going to do is set this on top, grab my sandpaper. And I'm going to sand over this so I can see that pattern. I probably should have it on the rubber mat. It's going to move on this paper. This is wax paper. Uh-oh, Lisa. Phone was ringing.
Oh, you know what it is.
No.
It's one of those people that know I'm on Medicare and want to sell me some foreign something. Yeah. We get them all day long. Since there's 2 of us in the house that are senior citizens, they come all day long.
So the best part about this is bringing it to life with your Old English. You could use ink, I suppose, or maybe even walnut spray, but wherever you broke the texture of the paper there.
It's not you, Miriam. It's not you. If it was you, I would answer it.
Thank you, Marguerite. And happy Valentine's Day to you too, Belinda. Galentine's Day. That's what we were, be mine doing. I will share pictures of Bill's gift that I made him tomorrow. I didn't want to put them on Facebook and risk him seeing them. So
exactly.
I didn't do it yet. So what I have here is my Old English, and you guys know I reach for this a lot. If you don't have a bottle in your art room, I highly recommend it. I use it on everything. It just brings things to life. So everywhere the paper has been broken by the sandpaper, because it has that glossy finish on it, is where this is going to pick up and change color.
Hi, Dusty Unicorn. And
hello,
welcome.
Dusty Unicorn. Is your name Dusty? So see what happens here is it goes in and saturates the paper. Now, if I had used something with a different contrasting color, this is just what I grabbed. Maybe something not yellow. It would stand out more, but see what happens there? Now, I'm going to glue these to some chipboard and use these for some of my hearts as well. So if you don't remember how you did the technique, remember to write it on the back. So that's one of my favorite visual textures, using this and some sandpaper. You can, it's not just about sanding paint, which we probably will do also, but it's about, creating that visual texture that we like. So at this stage, I could emboss over it with embossing powder, or I could stamp on it even. And that would be cool, like maybe with some script or some little circles. Let me see what I have here. I don't have one that I created that, I want something with a small, that's not made for, how about this one? Or this one? Not made for the gel plate, Oh, this one. How about that? It's kind of cool. I always break this stamp out. So maybe I want to use, I wonder if my white will work, or the gold, black, blue. How about the blue? We'll do that. So it's permanent. So tell me, did someone ask a question? Remember, if you have a question, do me a favor and put it all in caps so I can get it. Yes, it is furniture polish. Marguerite, haven't you seen me use it yet? I use it all the time. So maybe I want to go like this. And maybe I'll do a couple different ones. And maybe like
chocolate. Yes.
I
Chocolate is real. Since I had to change my diet, the chocolate thing is not a big deal.
It is to me.
That's never been a big thing for me. I mean, ice cream is one of my big things that I just really, really feel like I'm being cheated on, that there could be ice cream in this world and I really can't have it or
have it. That's so sad.
It is. I walked into the grocery store and I'm looking at all the ice creams, and then you look at the store, the low sugar stuff, and it's like you get down to the fudge sickles, okay? And I could live my whole life without eating another fudge sickle, but
I love fudge sickles.
it's like, dang, that thing tasted pretty good. Yeah, it's
Look what I did.
definitely.
Bad.
That is looking good. That is looking very good.
So all I'm doing is, kind of experimenting and playing on this one piece of paper that I can then glue down to some cardboard and decide to make some hearts out of it. Just for, some interest on this. And this could be the back of one of my textured hearts, or it can be on, the front and the focal point all on its own. I'm thinking I really like the hands, and it would almost be cool to emboss, like embossing powder with some gold on one of them, but I'm not going to do that right now because I've got other things. And of course, you guys know you can use texture paste. You could use your chipboard and, just sit and paint and play. And you could use watercolors. That would be great. But scraps are good for this. Scraps work great. I do have this piece here, and I have some cardboard. Let's get cardboard. Okay, so what I want to do here is glue some of this down, and then I'll just cut out some hearts.
Yes, when it comes to chocolate, Lindt chocolate is extremely good.
Oh, that's my favorite too.
My daughter keeps that in the house. I mean, there's always some of that in the house. People buy her things like that for gifts all the time, her coworkers. If something happens, they'll send chocolates home, and not eating those is probably a hard thing.
I have
I want to live a diet.
I am on a diet, but I've been throwing diet protein powder, keto mixes in my Ninja Creamy. However, you have to freeze them for 24 hours ahead of time, and it is tough to know what you're going to want tomorrow. But I don't have as many flavor choices now anyway. So I'm going to do that. So it might not be texture you can touch, but it's all visual texture in the end. Look, horse butts. Horse butts. Probably going to take that blue off. And this is where I probably want to use my school glue. Another way I like to add, and with the shipwreck bottle, you'll see, where is my school glue? What did I do with it? It's right here. I actually bubbled school glue with a heat gun.
Yeah. Ninja Cream.
What's that?
Oh, Marta said she wants one with the Ninja Cream, the extra hardcore stuff.
Oh, yeah. Ninja Green?
Did I read it wrong?
I have the Ninja Creamy.
Yeah, that's what she's talking about, the Ninja Cream.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Being super good.
It is. So I just realized I probably should use that side, but I can tear that off. So this is school glue and water. That's it. It's my collage mix of school glue and water. You guys, you don't have to make a garland though. Put them on a ring. I've done this with wood tags too in the past. You guys have seen me do that. Make little rings of wooden tags with some paint chips on them and paint samples that I did. So, oh no, it wiped my gold right off. Now I have stripes. That gold's supposed to be permanent.
In case you're wondering, I'm like reading the chat out of the corner of my eye and painting, but I'm seeing double at the moment, so.
I didn't tell you about my glasses.
What did you find out about your glasses?
They gave me 2 different prescriptions. Seriously, that's why I've been having headaches.
Oh my gosh.
So they sent me home with one of them that barely works because my eyes have changed because of it since I got them.
Okay.
Because it alters your eyes if you look through the wrong ones. They didn't even apologize to me for doing that. They treated me like it was my fault for not coming back sooner. And I was having like sinus issues. I thought it was that, like my ears
Right.
were
You
ringing and
didn't, it
stuff.
never occurred to you to have your
No,
glasses
that
checked.
they
Yeah.
would give me 2 different prescriptions. No. So that's
Yeah,
America's
that's
best
on
advice.
them.
There you go.
That's on them. I have no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
so
no,
mad.
that's one of
I'll
those
go
no
back to pain
excuses kind of
glasses.
thing.
I won't do that again. They want not. The thing is, you get your eye exam and then it gets passed. It's like the whisper game. They pass it to another person and they pass it to another person and then they pass it to another person before you finally get your glasses.
Right.
So you're not dealing with just 2 people. You're dealing with 9, actually.
Right.
So you go to the first eye doctor that does, and he's not really certified. He's only certified to do, he's like the CNA of eye doctors. You do that
Right.
first, where they puff the air in your eye. And then
Yep.
you see the real eye doctor. Well, and actually there were 3 of them. There was another test in the middle. You see the real doctor, and then you go out and wait in a chair for someone to call you, and you see a person that just works there. She's just like you and me, just trained by America's Best. And then they put that at the front desk and all that gets entered and sent off for glasses. And then the person with the glasses is dealing, you know what I mean? So it goes through too many hands. And that's the second time they've made a mistake with my glasses. Last time they switched my lenses.
I've worn glasses since I was 3 years old, so I've been pretty fortunate for the most part to be able to realize if they haven't gotten it right. But I've only had one time that it was not quite right, and that just had to do with when I started getting bifocals. They just did not have the
I
placement.
thought, hold on, function of light. Are you Andrea and Flo?
Her real name is
function
Flo.
of
I mean,
light.
her real name is Andrea, but she goes
Okay.
by Flo,
Okay.
which
Thought I
is
missed someone.
yeah. You're okay. You're on task. You're on task, ma'am.
So I'm getting a little bubbling because I and if I didn't want bubbling, I could use my favorite glue, which is the Crafters Workshop Matte Gel Medium. I didn't. That's okay because I'm really going for grungy texture here. So I'm all right if it wants to bubble and wrinkle and whatever. And I'm going to use this portion here. So I'm just going to pick a little moment on here and create my heart. And then maybe
Flo says to send a corporate email,
I
about
should.
how unacceptable, it was that they didn't even apologize. I mean,
Not
of all
one
things,
person.
yeah, they made it right, but they didn't apologize.
And they made me explain the same thing to each and every one of them. Each hand that I was passed on to, I had to re-explain myself. And they were like, well, why didn't you come in sooner? And I said, well, I've been having problems with my sinuses and my ears, and I'm allergic to the medication they give me for that. So they gave me something that I have to continue taking for a longer time to get rid of it. And I really thought it was my sinuses. I thought there was no way they would give me 2 prescriptions,
Well,
and then
it
they
wouldn't be the
treated me
first
like
place
it
I
was
would
my
look for
fault.
that either.
What's that?
That wouldn't have been the first thing that I would have thought might have been wrong.
No.
That would have been down the road because usually
I would think they know what they're doing.
there's a lot of
They're an
checks
eye
and
place.
balances, in that process. So
That's all they do. Eyes. So I really thought that wouldn't be the issue. So
Marguerite says that's like giving you 2 left shoes. I would tend to agree with you on that assessment.
yeah. And it altered my eyes enough that I have a new prescription now.
Now, did they charge you full price?
They didn't charge me anything for the second visit, but they treated me like, oh, I better go ask my manager if this is okay. That's what she said. And then she had to go talk to her manager and explain it to her manager, and her manager, oh, all right. And they said, and then she was like, well, next time you need to come in within 30 days. Well, I didn't know. I didn't know that they didn't know how to do their job. So
just wondering.
Okay, you need to write a strong email to corporate. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Why is that ever acceptable? It's not like they're a regular doctor and they do all these other things. They just do eyes. That's it. And then the eye doctor actually tried to say, well, your prescription's changed, but that's because uh, your cataracts can do that over time. And I'm just starting to show some signs of cataracts, like the second to the last time I went to the eye doctor. And so and they take a long time to grow, but she tried to say that that was why my eyes had changed in 6 months, you know. No, that's not how it works. So it would be really cool to do hands and hearts, and cut the hand out, but I'm not going to. I'm still going to go with a heart somehow here and try to show some of this hand. So, I'm going to go randomly here and not let myself look. And the hand may or may not show, but it was fun.
Flo,
This,
I agree. Hey, you must be like me. My patience for people not doing their job is just very.
I'm not one of
It
those
used to
people that,
not be as bad, but it seems like the older that I have gotten, the less tolerance I have for people who do not accept responsibility for their actions when they've caused a problem. It seems logical to me that you would fix the problem, not act like it's the person who's been injured by it's fault.
yeah, they treated me like it was my fault. They did. And each person looked at me like I was crazy as they made me retell why I was there. And then I walked out of there just feeling like crap because of the way they treated me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I have a hand.
Dirt.
I have some cool texture there. And now I'm going to go around the edges with something that'll cover sort of that up. And it needs some holes. You could put eyelets in these too. It would be kind of fun. But I'm just kind of deciding I want my holes on each side. Hang them any way you want, though.
About that eyelet situation.
Uh-huh.
You know I got it for Christmas, right? I got an eyelet
Yes,
sitter for
yes, I
Christmas.
did.
Do you think that I've been able to place an eyelet in anything yet?
Oh, it took me 2 years to get my setter right because I didn't have the paperwork with it. Hi, Becky.
Well,
I'm
it
glad
didn't
you
have a whole lot
made
of
it.
paperwork.
So, yeah, I'm not going to go back to America's Best. I actually, last time I did my glasses, I went to an eye doctor here in town because America's Best actually stopped taking my insurance. So my husband and I went in there and paid almost $600 for that to be treated like that. And I was saying, we paid a lot for these. They weren't $79. They were, they charge you for all the stuff on your lenses, and they want like
Upcharge it. I call those
it's all
upcharges.
upselling. That's what it is. Yep.
They get you in there thinking you're going to get a bargain, and next thing you know,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. So last time
Let me see
I
your
got the
wallet.
prescription and went
How
to
much you
paying
got in
glasses, and
there?
they were great. And they were less than $50 a pair with all the bells and whistles because they only have one, you get the best bifocal, you get the glare, you get the anti-scratch, you get it all for that price. And at America's Best, I got like the second one up because that was the one I had gotten in the past because it's what I could afford. And I said, that one will be fine. So that was the other thing I was thinking, like maybe it's because I didn't let them upsell me and spend $600 more, you know? I mean,
Oh,
between us, we
they
spent
just
almost
probably. I mean, it's a
$600.
loss for them, because they messed up. It's a loss for them.
It is.
Hey, you want something? You want to hear something that's happy?
Yes, please.
Becky just left a shelter where she was
Oh,
volunteering. She
yes.
got to snuggle with 13 kittens.
She was taking Valentine's to kittens. What do you take to a cat for Valentine's Day? That's what I want to know.
All right, Becky, inquiring minds need to know.
We do. We need to
And I
know
know
that.
Becky's going to tell us, right?
So that's kind
You're
of
not going to
fun,
leave us
right?
hanging here on the ledge, dabbling paint on my silly hearts.
And then I've got just a scrap of rice paper that had been on the gel plate with a P.M.Artist studio stencil.
She took pipe cleaners to the kittens.
Pipe cleaners. You take a big fish.
I like that, Flo. That's a good one.
That is good.
Sounds a little fishy here.
So there's one. And when I get these all together, I feel like they're going to on their own, they might look like meh, but when I get them together, I think they're going to be great. Oh, that one's still drying.
So mine look, let's just say
I love this one with
if I saw them laying on the table and I didn't know they were mine, I would think they were a little bit hopeless looking.
What?
My little hearts. But they're gonna come alive, I promise. They're gonna come
Well,
around.
the more layers you add, the more alive they become. And I can't do a cutesy heart, so this is
Well,
what I'm doing.
and I'm, I don't have all the texture stuff like you've got, so
I gotta glue that
we're
one
making
down.
something happen over here.
So I think I want, because I put staples in this one, I think it would be fun to do another one with more staples too. Oh, and my rusty one, of course. That one.
Can you see the colors on this one?
I can. It looks like you tied fabric.
Well, that's the baby wipe that I sat there and put rubber bands that I was going to actually it was a dried up baby. I found some dried up baby wipes in the back of my desk, and there was really nothing at that point that they could do. So I was going to tie dye them. And when I started playing with it, the more I played with it, the more I thought, wait, this is texture I could use on my bottle. Why am I thinking about tie dyeing them?
If
So,
you guys do fabric or anything soft like that for your bottle before you get to the gesso stage, and we'll be finishing those on Saturday. I mean, they don't have to be done, but we will do the second part of the class on Saturday.
well, mine are in timeout. Okay. My bottles got put in timeout. They have been sent to the other side of the room. I would have to actually get up off my fanny to go over there and visit with them at this point.
So I'm going to do this.
My daughter said, why are the bottles not on the table? You're giving up on them? I said, no, they're in timeout.
They're in trouble. Well, you went rogue on me and went really far.
Hey, it was not a plan. Trust me.
You were in the zone. It's okay. It's okay to get in the zone.
It was not a plan, but it was so, I don't know. When I saw them laying on the sofa, we were watching one of the races out of Florida. We like modified races, and we were watching from New Smyrna Beach.
Oh, I need to glue those ones
back
down.
in the day, my husband would go down there every week, or the week of Speed Week prior to the Daytona 500. He would go down there, and the car that we worked on and helped with would race. Well, I stayed home with the babies, and he went down there and had fun. So now we can watch it on one of our paid subscriptions, race subscriptions. And so we were sitting there Sunday waiting on the race to come on, and he said, "What are you doing?" And I was sitting there with the rubber bands and these little things, and I thought, okay, how am I going to do this? And I just started poking a pin up in it and putting the bands on it, and it actually worked out pretty good.
So let me finish that thought real quick about the fabric. I
Yes.
think I got distracted. The way you want to do that is to dip them in glue. So if they're going to need kind of like the stiff stuff that we used to use in the 80s, or my grandma used to use to make bows.
Yes.
Kind of like that. You're going to want sort of, I can't fit that on there. What a ding dong. Maybe I can do this differently. No. Let's do this.
That's what I ended up doing. I used straight up glue. I did not use diluted glue. I used straight up Elmer's.
Because you're going to want everything to be hard on the bottle.
Yeah. And it hardened overnight just fine.
Okay, I bet I can do it that way. Let's see.
Okay, Sharon, look at Marna wants to know if she first met you at Done by Dorothy.
Marty, I was Happy Paper People. Remember? Do you remember that? I was the other half of that. And we kind of stopped working well together. We just had different goals, different ideas. I don't really talk about it. So I started my own channel at that point. Do you remember, Marty? I was the idea girl. Too many ideas.
And see, I'm just the follower. I'm just a follow along. And sometimes I follow instructions pretty good, and sometimes we question those choices.
Hey, if you guys get ahead, I think that's wonderful. That means you were excited and you were feeling passionate about it. I
That
think
just
that's
does
what it's
not.
about.
Now, when we're doing journals, it's not unusual for me to be ahead of you, because
Right.
that's what I enjoy doing. But
I'm a
when we're
slow
doing
journaler.
other stuff,
Yeah.
it's not likely for me to be the one that
Well, and
gets ahead. But it's not a competition. It's about getting something done and enjoying it in the end.
it's
That's
about the process,
the joy
isn't it, guys?
and learning.
Yeah. So I actually sometimes take forever to do another kind of project. It depends on the project. And it depends on how into it I am, or if I am finding what I need to find, you know. I think I can do something different here. Watch this. I think because of the way I set those up together, these can be one, maybe. We'll see. Let me see what it looks like.
Marta, it's funny you should say that. I can remember hearing a teacher saying, "Lead, follow, or just get out of the way." She's like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
I remember going home thinking, "There's something wrong with that woman," or saying something on the fly to my mom, and she said what?
Look at that. So I'm going to leave it like that. And this will be hung together like this. I think that's fun, right? And then we'll put this one here, back where it was. You can also punch holes in these, just for the sheer joy of punching holes in them. You know, go ahead, do your thing. You know.
Yeah, you can hide your things you don't like how they look, but they have a way of, like, I don't know, the things that I have started that just weren't really inspiring me, they end up getting put in the closet, and then one day you open the closet and there it is. It's like, "Oh, duh. No, 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 no. No, no, I thought we were done."
Well,
And
maybe you have some
you have to
different
learn to deal with
supplies,
things.
or
Sometimes you have to find new ways to attack a problem.
sometimes putting it away is the best thing you can do.
Well, I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but I do like the idea of not just giving up and throwing it out.
Yeah.
I think that well, I was watching Kylie Coo's video that come out. It may have come out yesterday.
These
No,
cracks
no, it
show
was
up.
today. It was today. And she had some of her not so attractive gel prints. And it's like, you really look at things kind of different. We have our stacks of good, we have our stacks of not so good. And then there's that stack of
I'm sick of this.
whoop. you know, I've
Yeah.
decided I've decided that that box is going to get a name. I think we should call them bloopers. I think
Bloopers.
instead of call them like undesirable prints or
Okay.
duds, I think
Time for
that we need to
these.
call them bloopers,
I
because
think that's great.
what I was seeing with the ones that Kylie was working on, it was like they went from being bloopers to beautiful. So from now on, that's what I'm going to call them. I'm not going to call them, you ugly, or you just duh. Sometimes it's just a feel, you just do not like the way it feels when you look at it.
Oh, perhaps only actually it was two empty trays. Sorry,
It's okay. It's
my
okay.
shelf here.
It's just a miracle that there have been no crab avalanches here.
So what I'm going to do right now is, because I have crackle paste on this one, I'm going to get my spray box out.
Becky
So
says she calls her cricket mishaps bloopers.
bloopers.
Do you
Oh,
find ways
cricket
to use
mishaps
them, Becky?
happen. What?
I was asking if she finds ways to use bloopers. If there's a way to reclaim a blooper with a
Ugh,
cricket.
they really are bloopers. Bloopers happen a lot. And there is, do you guys remember the tin I posted, the squished can I made with the love notes, and I reposted the picture because Mo asked me to the other day in Makers?
Yes, that was very
Okay,
nice.
so that was actually, and here's another one. That was actually a blooper. It was the front of the notebook that looks like it's leather with a pattern on it. It didn't cut through all the way. So I glued it down to another piece of paper. It was chipboard, I think. I glued it down to another piece of paper and I sprayed it with sprays. Well, I didn't spray it with, not sprays. That's funny. It would have to be sprays, so sprayed it with sprays, but it created a really cool kind of pattern on it. And that's how I chose to use that. It was fun. So I'm going to do that with both of these. Now I could get out and dry brush, or I could use some ink on that even. Maybe I will do that, but let's do these. I got my spray here.
When these dry, I'm going to you're going to be proud of me. I made a wash. When I was working on the bottles, I made a wash, and it is mostly, it was black paint, but I added a little bit of the gold that you sent me for Christmas.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
See, this is a great time to use things you haven't used yet or forgot about. Break out your, stuff that's collecting dust and just start mixing stuff together and creating some magic.
Well, the way I look at it is, I mean, like I said, I was sitting downstairs. Our schedules have changed here. My husband went back to work, and he has now gone back to work on second shift, which is what he worked for 35 years. So today was the second day, and I was trying to get our dinner so we could sit down together made. And I'm sitting there at the table, clicking off this list in my head, and all I could remember was, I know I'm supposed to show up with some cardboard, a marker, and some glue.
Yeah.
Oh, the hot glue, So I was sitting down there. I was like, oh, about to break a sweat trying to think. Now I know that's not all. I know there's more to this that I'm supposed to do, but I could not remember.
But you couldn't remember.
I could not remember, and I don't know. It's usually worse the day after a really bad migraine, but the wind has slowed down today, so it's not quite as bad. As long as I don't move suddenly or bend down and come back up really fast, I'm not as bad as I was yesterday. But
so yesterday I don't really like the antique linen.
It was not fun. It was not a good play day.
So I'm just, experiment with your colors. If you do experiment with colors, I do recommend writing those down so you remember how you got to where you were. I mean, the fact is you're experimenting on tiny bits, so they don't really matter, or you can keep covering them, and I kind of really like what's happening here because you can see the brush marks from the gesso, and that's kind of cool. But this is all hot glue on cardboard. And all I did was sit with a piece of cardboard, and we could make them all look like metal that way. My goal is grunge, and I will have metal looking pieces, things that look like old paint. It's just, if you do that and you start mixing a lot of mediums together, you might question. I mean, right now I know what I put on there and I'll go, oh, I'll remember, but you won't. You won't.
I will not
try,
remember,
but we don't.
I don't remember a whole lot of things.
Yeah. So yeah, I used
to remember. I used to have a good memory, but not anymore. It is.
And then these will need to dry. So I'm going to set these aside and let them dry. This is also a good time to use like map pages for the back, or even things like this would be great on the back. If you're doing grungy, this is a good time to use these for backings. I think, at least.
And I just remembered, I wanted to put some puzzle pieces on mine too.
Do you remember these? The tubes that I had cut out a piece, and this was the leftover scrap. This would make amazing hearts. And it's got embossing powder on it, heat embossing, you know.
I like that thing.
And it was ugly gel prints when I started. It was rolled up into tubes, and then I put them on a backing as I glued them down. But this could be cut into a heart, and I do have a heart that I cut out of another scrap of this somewhere. I think it's packed up right now because I really do want to move my room. So I've got some things I haven't put out, but that could be one of your textures.
I'm going to use some puzzle pieces too. I don't know why I didn't think about that before.
So yeah, you can use puzzle pieces. I used that on my shipwreck bottle last time. Just, play with your mediums, have fun, do what makes you, feel good, and just really get into it. You could do anything, really. So this I really like it. So I might save this piece for an ATC later. So I'm going to put that one away. Let's see what else I have here. I have some metal here. That's just a scrap, and that wasn't a coffee thing. It's a Bud Light can that got left at my house. I probably made beer bread because I don't drink beer. So I'm just going to cut that out.
I know. I've been trying to scavenge beer lately.
And this one, this is the scrap from
the Yellowstone cookbook, and everything calls for beer, and we don't drink beer. So
I have some recipes.
Do you have any beer at your house?
If people leave a beer at my house for whatever reason, like at the holidays, they go in the second fridge, and every can or bottle I look at like a loaf of beer bread.
Yeah,
that's what I do with them.
We used to make, when the kids were younger, we made beer bread a lot. There used to be a like these home parties that you would do online parties for, and they had like
the sourdough
that you just added it to, but we don't have that anymore. So
I'm just gonna make a heart. I want like a longer heart this time. I'm gonna cut out sort of this shape. And then this one. I like a wonky heart. I don't want it to be perfect. I want wonky.
Hi, Trish.
Hey, Trish. How are you?
I hope everything is well. And happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Is it your birthday?
Do you want me to sing to you?
You get to have Valentine's Day for your birthday? That's amazing.
Oh, we'll sing if it's your birthday for sure. We will sing, won't we, Sharon?
What's that?
I said we will sing if it's her birthday for sure, but I think it is. I think I remember hearing Mariah say something about it being her birthday.
Bye, Miriam. Thank you so much for coming.
She has a birthday today, and I think the other one that has a birthday today is Heather.
Smacks her forehead. I keep looking at Marguerite thinking, where have I seen her? She's famous, right? Margaret Mitchell, a favorite of Gone with the Wind. Oh.
Yes. There is that Margaret Mitchell, too. Yeah, definitely.
And she was not named that for that reason, she says. Oh, Flo, are you leaving us too? Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for coming. I hope you get to come back again. We'll be back on Saturday.
Yes, we will. We're going to be doing a part 2 of our class. So please join us. And it's not too late to get started if you want to do it with us. Okay, on this one, I'm going to make another heart. And this is a fun texture with texture paste right here. Maybe I should cover the back of that first, make it easier. And I'm going to use this.
Oh, it's Evie's birthday. Is Evie home yet, Trish? Is Evie home?
Yeah, is she there? I think she has been home.
I didn't know if she's gotten to go home yet or not.
You guys can use your gel prints for these. I'm just, oh, look, fun words. That's going to get holes in it. But I think I might back it because when I embossed it, some of them kind of went all the way through. So it wants to split in some places. So I might just back it. But this, yeah,
So happy birthday to Evie. I remembered it was somebody's birthday. Hey, for yesterday, that was pretty daggone good. I'll take that.
Happy birthday to
To
you. Is she here?
you. She'll
Is
watch
she?
it on the replay if she's not
Ah,
here.
happy birthday to
To
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear
Evie.
Evie.
Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday to
you.
you and
There we
many
go.
more. Don't take us out to karaoke.
Oh, bite your tongue.
I know you love karaoke.
Well, I
One of
just,
my UK buddies loves to go carry out and karaoke, and if we were going to be there long enough, she said she would take me out.
I should
She says,
spray this
"Oh,
one
we'll
too.
go karaokeing." I said, "Well, you just sit there and drink a beer."
So we haven't been since before COVID. I didn't want to get sick, and yeah. Anyway, we think we're going to rejoin the Eagles Lodge because there are more people our age there, and it's a little smaller crowd. And I used to work for the Eagles Lodge for a long time, twice actually, and then we were members in our old hometown. So we're thinking we might go and rejoin.
Well, that would be nice. That would give.
It would
I
be.
mean, when it starts getting cold, or you just need something to pick me up. Getting to go out in public and do something that you enjoy.
Well, I
These
had the
are
karaoke business, so even if they just have their own equipment and they're not running it right now, between Bill and I, because he's a sound guy, and I have my own karaoke equipment too, but it's all disc fed because it's an older system. But I mean, we could go run karaoke somewhere, volunteer, sure.
well, why volunteer? I
Well, I
mean,
mean, we
you
if
should,
we
you
just
should
want to
be able to
sing,
make a little money off of it, at least accept tips.
we want to sing. That's the thing.
Well, you can
I mean, so
sing.
that's what it's mostly about. I think I want that deeper. Since I'm going to do a long, skinny, wonky heart here, this part should
Oh,
be
that wasn't
longer and
exactly what I
skinnier
planned,
too.
but hey, we'll take it if they want to come to it at a time. We'll take them to a time. We'll just pretend we're who was it? Noah getting the animals on the ark.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
I went to pick up a puzzle piece, and two decided they wanted to come along. So I take that as a sign from the universe that that's what's needed on that one,
Sign
right?
from the
Is,
universe.
is that correct? Is that what the
Yes,
universe is
that's a
telling me?
sign from the universe. That's right.
I don't know what the universe was trying to tell me yesterday.
Put your puzzle back together. Don't lose your puzzle pieces.
No, I think it was.
That's what it is.
I think it was just a reminder that hey, remember when you had days like that every day? that's that's what the reminder was. That's the message that came through anyway. That I do remember when I had days and weeks, without relief, and so yeah, it was to remind me of where I'd come from.
So this I need to glue to something because I want a heart with some of this paper. And where I was saying you could use your National Geographic paper for these. I mean, that looks like a grungy heart to me. You can look at Pinterest and look at different finishes you can look up and see if you can recreate them and practice until you get there. Use different mediums, try different things, mix things together that you wouldn't normally think to do.
Get weird. Make
Yeah,
it weird and wonderful,
seriously.
not uncomfortable.
Oh,
Hi,
this
Yolande.
one. Hey,
Hey, I
Yolande,
will
are you
definitely go
done with
back
your
and watch your
stream?
stream today.
Are y'all finished? You must be. You must have got the hello that I sent.
Waiting for an update on that.
Yeah, thanks for running over here. That was really sweet. I didn't know that you had I don't know if you saw my comment on your video before you started, but I didn't know you had a a live stream today, or I maybe would have done it different at a different time. Although this is about the right time for me right now because I have to make a shrimp dinner for my husband and do some stuff when I get done here today. That was
Hi,
easy.
Martha. Welcome,
Hey, Martha.
welcome. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, happy Galentine's Day to you all.
Oh,
And that includes Eddie.
Yolanda, that is so sweet. Thank you. She's posted a link in hers for
Oh,
ours as
thank
well.
you.
Hey,
That's
we
awesome.
appreciate it. We're
We really
excited
do.
to see the numbers coming up.
Hey, you guys, I just hit 1,000 on TikTok. And I've only had that account for like 6 months or 8 months, something like
Way to
that.
go.
And I can actually do lives there. Which I don't know that I would, but once you get to 1,000, you're allowed to do that. And that's pretty cool, I think.
I think so too.
I'm going to use
I
some
concur.
copper here, maybe, or copper.
Oh no.
It's not my copper.
Martha got COVID. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Oh, that's
There's
terrible.
nothing fun about that. You
Well,
take care of yourself.
happy to see you here and that you're alert and kicking. Keep kicking, right?
Exactly.
That's why we haven't gone out to
Don't
carry
let
you.
that mess get you. Get the best
Yep.
of you, that's for sure.
And think happy thoughts, right?
Right. Hey, I crafted the whole time I had it.
I can't. If I don't feel good, I can't do that.
Yeah,
That's not an
I
option
was,
for me.
my husband got it first, so I come upstairs to the craft room, and when he said, "Well, now that we both got it," I said, "No, I'm here. I'm settled. I'm good." It was like a craft vacation because you had COVID.
Well, that sounds lovely, actually, but I would still have housework to do, and that would suck. If I could come upstairs, I would feel like I needed to do my chores, you know?
So, Martha, do you have somebody to help with your husband when you're sick? Do you have somebody that can come and help, or are you
That's a good
still
question.
on board? I know you've got your hands full.
It's 10.
There's nothing easy about taking care of someone that needs your 24/7.
Woohoo! Look at that come to life. That corrugated cardboard looks like 10.
I think it looks great. It's coming along
Love
nicely.
it. Now, I didn't back this one when I cut it out. I cut this one out as a sample the other day, but I did paint the back, and I think it's strong enough. I like the shape of it. I'm all about a wonky heart. You could use silver paint, you know, to make it look like metal or whatever. And like I said, you can make rivets with your glossy accents and just paint over it, or use hot glue or that puff paint. I was just, you know, experimenting and making some little marks with the glossy accents because I just got it and I hadn't used it yet. It's a second bottle. My other one kind of dried up on me. I think it's not dry, but it's really, really thick and doesn't squeeze out of the bottle. So this one, I'm thinking I want to see what happens if I put a layer of paint on it, because that glossy accent is almost like glue and it could crackle. Maybe it's possible the paint will crackle if I do it in the right thickness. So I'm going to decide here which one.
Oh, there's a little bit of lace there. We'll see what that does.
I want to do some contrast here. So I'm going to use this color.
Becky said a friend of hers that has COVID is pregnant. That is very scary to me.
That is. Yeah. That is scary. Okay, so I want to use this color, have a high contrast, this sort of terracotta. I don't know why. No reason at all. It's going to look like Halloween probably when I'm done here. But I want it to crackle. So that's the, I'm just going to see if it does. And that'll show up if it does. Another way you could do these would be to just use like black and white and use stamps at the bottom. Would be really beautiful. Something with a high contrast. That would be great. So thin layer.
Yes, you do have to be really careful. I mean, I'm like that with myself. I don't go out a whole lot more than I have to. We 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 do a few things, but we're very picky about, choosing the right time, right place, try not to be in the
Yeah, that's
middle
why
of
we haven't gone
what
out.
we call a mess.
So I'm going to leave that just like that, streaky, and I'm going to come back to it and see if that glossy accents didn't crackle, because I feel like it might, just because it's such a smooth surface. And that's how your school glue crackles. It's kind of the same effect. So we'll see.
If you do it right. If
If
you
you
do
do
it
it right.
right. If
Yeah.
you don't do it right, it'll do what mine did, and it'll just have a bunch of ripples.
So
But
this
it
is
did find its
dry.
way to a project, so it wasn't a total blooper.
You could also do some like dendritic, where you put your paint on glass and do some in it, push your heart down on it and get some veining on there if you do enough contrast. So maybe I rust this one on this side.
Well, mine
I want
are
that.
all getting something. Some of them got some puzzle pieces. I've got some lace sitting here that I had been playing with, and I'm actually pulling out a little bit of that. Yes, Becky, choosing your time to go out and do things is, very, very critical to
This is very
keeping your family healthy. I mean, especially you're out all day, you got to work, got to get your stuff done, and just you have to be careful. That's for sure. There's no fun to be had with getting sick.
good. No, there's not. So I'll have to decide to string these together in a minute. I might use jump rings. That might be the thing to do. So this, how about some rust? How about some fake rust? Or alcohol ink. Boy, I'm missing those right now. Let's do that. Just to get down in those cracks.
This right here is the sweater that just keeps on giving.
So I'm just going to drip, 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 drip. Oh yeah, the cracks are going to show. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes, Becky, we had the same thing. My husband declared an essential worker, so he had to go regardless. Luckily, their protocol at his job was pretty good, but he would bring, like, when he would bring his lunchbox home, he would spray it with Lysol, and he'd rinse everything off before he put it back in the lunchbox. It was berserk, really, almost craziness. But he always went that extra mile, so you gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay, so I've got brown on there. And then what if we'll find out.
We'll
Mixing
use
my
a piece of
mediums, that's what
rickrack
I'm
to
doing.
cover up. There was a seam on there. Hi, Diane Bell. How are you?
Oh, hey, Diane.
Welcome, 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 and
So
happy
my gold start
Valentine's
coming
Day.
out.
Becky, my husband works for a major tobacco company. He retired from there, but they recently called him back to do his old job. He's been going back and forth since 2015 when he took early retirement at 55. And they recently called him back, needing him in his old job, even wanted to consider hiring him back, but he laughed at him. Nope, no, we're not going there. But yeah, he can work so much before he's penalized by Social Security for um, working. So that's what he's going to do for this year. So hopefully it'll work out all right. So far, he hadn't brought anything home so far this time.
This time.
Yeah, you remember he got called back into a different department and
Yeah.
went he went one day, and the next day by 10:30 that night, it was on second shift. By 10:30 that night, he was sick. And I told him, I said, "Oh, buddy," I said, you've got COVID. I just know you do, because he was like 50 shades of pale. And,
Poor
you know,
guy.
yeah. And that's when I got it for the first time. That was over the 4th of July. So, but he hadn't brought it home again. Thank goodness. We don't have time for that. You know, we got things to do. But it does make a difference.
Am I missing anything here? A little frazzled with the move on Saturday.
Yes, tobacco
wait,
paid for
Diane.
my house.
Are you
Tobacco
moving this
paid for my
Saturday?
house. So it is what it is.
Diane, you're moving this Saturday, is that correct?
Okay, I was wondering, Diane, I was wondering about the move. Our thoughts and prayers will be with you, because we know that that's going to be a hectic time for you. Your art buddies will be thinking about you. Hopefully that'll make it all go a little bit better, or at least seem like it is.
So I haven't had my alcohol inks out in so long, and I love them so much. I do. I can't help it. Okay, I've got to put them away though.
But
that was a little fun. It was something.
I can't help falling in love with you. That's what she thinks when she sees her.
It is. It is what I think when I see my
the magic potion.
Her pin here.
It's all shook up. There you go. Oh, my mama loves some Elvis. We had an Elvis doll. It was like, okay, who's taking Elvis? I don't want Elvis. There was a Dolly Parton doll too, and we decided that all those dolls that Mama had bought for my daddy, there was John Wayne, Elvis, and Dolly Parton. We decided that my oldest brother needed to have them at his house.
Darn
I'm
it, I
sure
just
he
lost
loves
that
you
pin.
dearly for that. But she loved those things, you know. She loved them. She had rooms and rooms and rooms of them. There's not that many here at my house. There's a few. There's the first one she ever made for me. I kept it. But
that's hard to see in the camera, I know, but it's so pretty. It's got a
it
little
is
gold around
pretty.
the edges, and
Well,
you can see the
yum.
crackles and the texture going on there. I'm going to let that dry. And then I think this one needs sprayed. This has been on my texture card. It's photo paper forever and ever. And I really don't like this embossing folder. I just haven't found a way that I like it, but I hate these colors. So this will get sprayed most likely, or gessoed and painted maybe. And I'll go from there. Or maybe I need to drag out a medium that I haven't used in a long time. Like,
I don't think my paint is dry. I was hopeful, but I don't think it's dry. I've successfully painted my thumb.
So how is everybody this Valentine's Day, and what are your plans? Is this your plan? Are you doing something else too?
Hey, my plans are done. All I got to do is, yeah, I mean, I made spaghetti sauce last night, and he had that with meatballs today, since he's trying not to eat
I can't open this
spaghetti. And I made him brownies. He don't get brownies often anymore, so he was pretty excited. And I made for my daughter, she got Rice Krispie treats. Ooh, Chinese takeout, yum. You know, I'm glad you said that, because I'm home alone now. I mean, he's gone, and in a little bit, my daughter's going out. Her and her guy are going out for dinner. So I'm gonna be home alone. Maybe I need some Chinese or some. I don't know. My daughter brought home these noodles, these fat noodles, and they were the best things. I would almost drive into town to get those.
You mean lo mein? Was it lo
I
mein?
don't know if it was a lo mein. It was some kind of
That
noodles.
was
It
way
was
too much.
there was no meat. Well, no, maybe it had chicken. It might have had chicken. All right, Becky. Happy Valentine's and thank you for
Oh,
stopping
yeah.
by.
Have a great Valentine's Day. So Trish has no plans. Becky clearly has plans. I hope it's wonderful. Have fun.
I hope it is too. I hope it is too. If,
And if you make this heart garland, I would love to see how you do yours, because I know yours would be colorful, crazy fun. So what I'm doing is browning this out and kind of going over those colors to see if I like them more, because I don't like a bright color. I just can't do it unless it's gold. So I'm just kind of seeing how it looks. If I don't like it, I'll go back over it. But it's very textured. It's very kind of like it now. Still
yeah, I'm
kind of looks
liking
like a
that.
disease though.
It needed that grunge. So
Yeah.
Yolanda said that her husband has to work late tonight, so they won't be doing anything at least until the weekend.
Well, I'm gonna make. I got these new noodles for myself for my keto diet that are made out of
The
hearts
mushroom
of
leaves?
palm, actually.
Ah, let
And
me
so,
know how that goes.
yeah, I will. I definitely will. So I think I'm going to do the other half in a different color, but I'm going to let that dry. This is a little bit sticky, so I'm going to put it in my spray box. And, ooh, I think this one's almost dry here.
Oh, you're right, Diane. You do not appreciate what you have. The last time that we moved my mom and my stepdad, between the two of them, we had to get a separate utility building or rent a separate storage space just for the fabric. And instead of letting them pay for it, because they were both on a limited income, we said, okay, this is the deal. You get this storage space for 2 months. It's paid for 2 months. Anything beyond 2 months, they're gonna take your stuff. We're not gonna even worry about it. We're not moving it. We're not doing anything with it. So you got to decide how you're gonna use it. And if you're not gonna use it, we need to find out where to take it. So we were pretty successful in getting them to clear it out. We got towards the very end, and it was a lot of bits and pieces, and he was so pitiful. Let's see, is the noodle round and white the same color as rice? It was a wider noodle that was kind of flat.
It's like almost like Asian linguine, but
It
made
could
out of rice, probably, right?
I don't know. She didn't say if it was made out
Hmm.
of rice. I mean, my daughter's a picky eater. If it was made out of rice, she probably would have not ordered it.
A little wet.
If I know her as well as I think I do. I'm gonna
Well,
step away because I did not bring water to my table. Let me
okay,
grab my water.
okay.
I will
I
be
actually
right
cook rice noodles all the time, but right now I can't have them. And I got those hearts of palm noodles to try, which I got like this 4-pack on Amazon. They have lasagna, hearts of palm, linguine, and then a rice all made out of this hearts of palm. And I haven't even tasted that yet. So, I mean, I think I've had that in Asian cooking, but like in smaller pieces. So
well,
I don't know.
with the onset of the diabetes, I've been staying away from pasta. I mean, I could have it,
Oh, they were
but
pad thai. That's right.
it's
Thank you,
not
Marta.
that much.
Yeah.
So what I'm kind of thinking is I use cabbage for everything. I mean, I take cabbage, I shred it up, I put it in the oven and sprinkle a little olive oil over it, and then I eat it with everything. I mean, I'll eat it with other vegetables or chicken, but almost always it's replacing my pasta now.
I have, and I know rice isn't keto. I'm not having rice. It's made out of the hearts of palm. I have been using a lot of cauliflower though. So, and then I'll have to paint the back when that's better dry and I can lay it on its front, but I love it. I'll put some
I
gold on
like
the edges.
cauliflower. I love. I mean, I can do cauliflower and I can do
Let me see what I have
broccoli.
here.
I
This
mean,
one.
I don't mind those at all.
This is the Silver Nouveau Mousse that I hardly ever use, but I'm going to make some tin here. So on the other one, I used one that's got more of an iridescence to it. It's got like a greeny, there's kind of a green, and this is the silver. And that worked out pretty good on the glossy accents right there. That's what that is, glossy accents.
Maya, I need to ask her where they got those from. I mean, her guy friend is a town over, but she says she thinks that there's places here that have them. I have this rule: if leftovers stay in the refrigerator, if they bring leftovers home, and I've done this to them since they were little kids or teenagers, when they start bringing home things from dates, leftovers from dates, if they stay in my refrigerator for more than 2 days, I know they will not eat them, and then mommy taxes take over, and that means that I can eat them without any guilt. And
Love
that's
that.
what happened to the last ones. You know, the mommy tax took over. Yeah, I know. Don't ask me where I heard that. I just thought it was hilarious. Somebody, I was reading something and it said something about mommy tax. I said, "Wait, what's this mommy tax? I'm not taxing properly. I need to fix this. We got some problem."
So I'm using an awl because my cardboard is too
All
thick
right,
for the punch.
Rhonda. Thank you
Oh,
for coming
Rhonda.
by. We do appreciate it. Much love and
Yes.
happy Valentine's Day.
And go make yourself a texture garland so you can try new techniques and color schemes and, mix your stuff together. It'll be
All
fun.
right, Miss Sharon, are you looking, my dear? Look what I did. This is my little wash, my new
Oh,
wash. Can you see it?
I love it. I love the colors.
And
Loving the
see,
colors.
and that's got that puzzle piece on it, so
Yeah.
that's
Are
not
you
bad.
saying that I am a piece of your heart?
I may put something on there. I mean, I've got those little small quote strips, so
Yeah.
I very well may do that.
Okay. So maybe I'll string some of these
That
together
wasn't
now.
totally
Get
disastrous, so
my
let's move
little
on to
jump
another
ring
dry one and
ring.
see what happens.
So I'm going to actually use some jump rings here. I believe if I can get to them easily. My little container of them is right here. I got to stand up. Hold on a second. Oh, let me see here. I had them out and then, oh, they're right there. I want the brown ones. I need to get more big ones, I think. Oh, there we go. I'm going to try that and see, because I have a lot of those ones. So if I can use the jump rings, I will. Unless my little holes are farther over. This one still needs a back. So that one could use jump rings. Oh, those might be too far. I was just kind of thinking it might be fun to loop them together. But
Yeah, loops.
or
Loopity-loop.
I could use wire.
Yeah, you talked about wire, and you
Use
showed me
wire.
one that you had that had the wire pieces kind of knotted on the front. That was really cute.
Yeah, the hearts that I sewed together, kind of.
I don't remember. You
Well, it
had
was
them
the
in
one I
your
just
hand
had out.
when we were out. You know, when we were chatting the other day live. Well, not live, but
Yeah, I
between
had that
ourselves.
one out already since we've been here. Where did I put it? It was right here.
Oh,
Now.
I love Asia. I eat such a variety of foods, and my husband is very much a meat and potato boy. Yeah.
I cook a lot of Asian food, actually. We either do Asian, Italian, um, uh, Greek. And my kids used to tease, Mom, why don't you ever make American food? But I don't. I just don't. I would rather have global food from all over the world, you know?
What? I don't like limiting myself when it comes to food. I like to be open. That's
Yes.
why when we went to Scotland last year, I was being teased. He said, "Oh, well, you want to eat haggis?" I said, "Like, yeah, I will." I said, "Unless
Well,
I'm
I don't know if I
allergic,
would
the
eat
only
that.
thing I can't have is I can't have certain types of
I
seafood.
might
I have
try
to.
it.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I can't. I just can't have it. It's deadly. I carry EpiPen. We can't play with that. But anything that I am able to try, I will.
So I could either use wire. Jump rings, I think I don't have enough that are big enough to go where I need to put my holes on some of these. Or I could use uh, like safety pins, paper clips. I do have a lot of paper clips. Those are fun too. Like a
Diane
paper clip
Bell, that's
chain.
what I do. If it's beef, I've got it in the freezer. I mean, that's one thing that, you know,
Big thing of
I
paper clips.
personally could be meatless the rest of my life and never miss it. But my husband is
I'm gonna
not
use
that
those.
way. I mean, they were big beef eaters. And he doesn't eat fish at all. He
If
won't
I
touch
could live on
fish.
fish and seafood, that's my favorite.
Now this one turned out
Do that.
okay. And it's
Let's
even
do
got some of the original packaging peeking out too. Eventually
so.
I'll get it to sweep the spot, folks.
So I'm probably still going to use, let's see if I can get this to work. Probably
Yes,
still going to
Diana
use
Bell,
that
there
wire.
was mention, sorry, Sharon, mention about the retreat. Diane called
Yes.
it kind of on the side.
So the retreat at Anthony's here in Washington State near Olympia would be, we haven't decided on a date for it, but I'm on the planning committee. So stay in touch with Maya and myself about it. These are very bendy. Oh, they might be too big. I'm going to put a few of them on there and we'll see how they look. A paperclip chain sounds fun though. Of
I
any
like the
kind.
idea of paperclip chains. I could go with that idea as well.
It's just a matter of, are these too big? And these are the ones I have the most of. And they're also made out of some weird aluminum that makes them bend really easy. And I don't know if I like that. I mean, they get like these little kinks in them pretty easy. But I mean, that's fun. Paperclip chain.
Well, that's just different.
Or
What if you did your chain and you used inconsistent methods of fastening?
you could do
So,
that.
in
Certainly.
other words, maybe you use paper clips or pins or safety pins, wire. So you could go rogue.
Go the other way here.
Just call me rogue now. That'd be all
Well, and I
right.
think if I hadn't punched holes in them, I might even use those clips on a string. That would be fun because I've got a whole bunch of those weird. I've got a whole jar full of these things, and I don't know what they were from. They open up right here just a tiny bit, but they've got these really heavy duty clips on them, and I'm always sending these out in Happy Mail because I have so many. But I got a whole jar of them once. But look how strong those are. They have like a metal piece right there. They're never coming apart. I feel like they were for curtains or something. I have them actually clipped to the bottom of my curtain on my sliding glass door because there's a heater right there. Why do they put heater vents right in front of windows and doors?
Because they didn't used to think about such things. It's just like
It happens every time. It's like even oh gosh, a baseboard heater right under a window.
yeah,
Why?
it's
Yeah, I don't like
I don't understand why they do a lot of things, but they don't ask me.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because if I built a house, we'd be in trouble. That's all I can tell you.
I
I
know
have
what I
enough
don't like.
experience to know that that would not be an ideal situation.
All right, I'm gonna go crazy here, and I'm gonna just use these very bendy
Oh
paper
boy.
clips in a new way.
Diane said one place that she rented had a big window right in front of the shower door. Well, Sharon happens to
Well,
have an interesting situation there too, going on with the shower, right?
yeah, we don't have a window. We have one of those because they built our porch on after the fact. We have, I kind of want like a pencil. We have like a slat window that you lift the lever and it's frosted in our bathroom, but it opens into our laundry room.
we were just talking about that the other
We
day. It was
were,
it
yeah.
was funny.
We
That's what made me
I
laugh
have a
when I
window
saw
at
that. I'm like, uh-huh,
my
yeah.
kitchen sink has a window that sees into my laundry room. That is also my messy art space. Like when I'm going to do furniture, or I need this to hold still. When I'm doing furniture or
Oh,
something like
Sharon, I
that,
have something funny to tell you. I almost forgot.
or my wax, which I haven't had time for, makes me
Um,
sad.
you know, we talked about burning things and how we can get special effects by doing burning things.
Oh yeah, you guys can use
Okay.
that technique with
So,
this.
Zoe loves creme brulee, and she has found that Aldi's has these little creme brulees, and she was saying, "Wonder how much a torch is." I said, "I don't know. Pick up my tablet and put one in the Amazon cart." So last night yesterday we were sitting eating lunch, and he said, "By the way, I ordered the torch." She says, "Please, dear God, tell me you're not taking it up to the craft room." And I said, "Oh no." I said, "That is for creme brulee."
So she thought you were going to take it.
No, 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 no. Bill thought that I was ordering it
Oh, going to
for
be doing
craft,
that
and
in
he
the
was
room? No,
terrified
no,
that I
no,
was gonna
no.
be up here with all this paper stuff
And fire.
and a torch. I said, "No,
Fire.
honey." I said, "Some people do that, but I'm not gonna that's not my plan at this point."
Yeah, that's mine. My torch is down in my laundry room, and I don't have a lot of paper in there. What I have is, wood, and that's bad too. But that's where
Right.
my wax is.
But you've
So,
got it is what it is.
and I have
You can't
a smoke detector, and a fire extinguisher, and all the things I need. So I'll be okay. So all I'm doing, because this wasn't big enough, I didn't think, what I want is a bigger loop. So I'm going to have all these like odd shaped sort of loops. I'm going to make this the hard way. That's what I'm going to do, guys.
you make it the hard way.
I'm
You
going to
just
make
keep
this
making
the
things the
hard
hard
way.
way.
Yep, that's me.
We see your struggles. We see
Yeah.
your end result. It's
Come
okay.
on.
Manhandle it. You can do it.
I'm doing it. I am manhandling
Oh,
this.
so
I
Costco
mean,
has creme brulee? Yeah, she loves it. One of our favorite restaurants we go to, that's what she gets. She gets that creme brulee that's made fresh every day. And when they bring it,
do I hate it?
she melts. She loves it. She's my foodie. I mean, my other child will eat anything, but this one's got just her select things that she likes. So
I'll eat anything, pretty much.
Zoe has a sweet
Some
tooth. She
things have
took
to
after
kill
her
me,
both her
though.
grandpas. But she
Yeah, I
does.
don't know if I don't like that either.
I think it'll
So
be fun if we start making them. The empty dishes. Was it the ones in the little glass dishes, Diane? Because that's what this is. It's coming in a little glass dish, and it's even made to where you can take the bowl off and put it in the oven to get that little bit of crispness on it. She's pretty happy about it, and she's not one that just likes things immediately. So
you know what? I'm going
I
to do
like that
something with
one.
that wire. I still haven't decided on that part, but I will.
We're coming up
I
on.
have some other twine I need to get out, I think. I don't want like burlap twiney twine. I want like a string, and I need to go look through my stuff like that, I think.
That's funny. Marguerite she said she was at work and had to start Googling areas, somewhere she could go to get creme brulee. That's when you know you want something, when you're willing to go
When
the
you're
extra
Googling
mile
it.
to get it. Yeah.
Okay, so this is fun. This wire is so bendy aluminum that I can go around the edges with it. How fun is that? So in all the experiments, just whatever you think you want to try, that's great because this is a small piece. You can't mess it up. You're using cardboard. Whatever goes, right?
Right.
And that's the point.
Hey, I got here with what I knew I was supposed to have. I got here with my cardboard. I had my Sharpie. I had my hearts even cut out before we started streaming.
That's
And
pretty
that's as
awesome.
much as I knew was going to happen.
Well, experimental, that was the plan. I think the reason why I can't decide is because it's been 2 hours. And
Yeah,
I'm probably
we are coming up on 2 hours, and
we
we
are,
definitely want to
yeah.
be respectful of people's time, and they're sweethearts. And if you
Thank you,
don't have a
everyone.
sweetheart, we love you, and we are grateful for you coming to hang out with
I'll
us
be your
on Valentine's
sweetheart.
Day.
I will
You can
always
be
be
my
your
sweetheart.
sweetheart. Mhm,
I won't lie. I might have more than
mhm.
one.
Yeah, we can have lots of sweethearts. That's fine, right?
I think I'm glad I have friends. That's what I can tell you. I'm glad I have friends, and I'm glad that I've met all of you. And today's a day to be grateful for those things, for sure.
Well, every day is, but today is definitely full of love and appreciation for all of you and gratitude. So I hope that this project gets your motor revving and gets you excited and makes you feel like you want to try it. I think that's my favorite one
Do something different.
when they're together like that. I think that is pretty cool. So, yeah, try something different. Try new techniques. Try new paint colors. Try to mix things together that you wouldn't normally do. Give it a shot. Why not? It'll be
I've
fun.
actually, I do think I've been successful in doing something out of my ordinary here.
I like that one too. Oh, and I have these guys too that are drying. Oh, this drying, I, added more to that, and then I'll maybe cut that out and hope it doesn't look like a
Bye bye,
disease.
Trish. Bye,
Bye,
Trish.
Trish.
Give Abby a hug for me, please.
I'll let you know if that crackles. It looks
For
like it's doing
birthday and
something.
otherwise.
And then I have these guys here as well that are drawing. So thank you so much for coming, everyone. And thank you for a thumbs up. And if you leave a comment, that would be amazing. I do read them all. And I'm sure Lisa will too. So
I
thank you,
do.
guys. Thank you,
I actually,
friends.
I've been making a point of going back and watching to see, what, where, I can improve. Think
Well, you have fun, guys. Thank you so much.
we did have. It's
Bye-bye.
been fun. Bye bye. Happy Valentine's.